So inshallah, that's that brings the presentation to a close. So does anyone, we can maybe have a few minutes for questions before Salah.
Is that okay? I don't want to unnecessarily.
Okay. And also, if the sisters want to ask any questions, they can ask on ask.projectihya.com. You can go there and type a question and it'll come to us, inshallah. And we request everyone to join the WhatsApp group, whatsapp.projectihya.com. Just pull out your phones right now real quick. And I know that's what we just talked about not doing, but inshallah this is for good. So just go to whatsapp.projectihya.com, join the WhatsApp group, and you'll get notifications for future events. So any questions here? So we'll take one from the brothers and one from the sisters. You have the Dawah? I'll look it up. Yes, brother.
Can you share your thoughts on sharing a smartphone with your kids? I know there's some value to this.
Like giving or sharing yours with them?
No, if you're giving you a smartphone for school and stuff, what's the value in that? Obviously, there's what you're giving. What are your thoughts on it? What is the age, appropriate age to do that?
So everyone has to use their own discretion, but personally I feel that delay it as much as possible, especially not young kids. Like I know people who they don't give their kids phones even into their late teens. I mean, the more you can delay it, the better it is. What would you think?
Matter of fact, I believe a lot of these tech moguls, the ones who actually make these smartphones and these apps and things, they actually explicitly said, we don't give our kids iPads and iPhones and things. Like they have not given it to their children. So there are other things that, even if we are going to give a phone because we see that we think that the kid we need to stay connected with him for safety and all of that. So give them a phone that doesn't have all this kind of access, or it has parental controls on it. Now you can set the phone so it has all the controls that you want to put on it. Even if you are going to give a kid. First we say that don't give little kids phones. It's like giving a gun to a kid, right? He's going to hurt himself. But if you are going to, make sure you put all the necessary controls. Don't just give them a phone. Right? Or give them a phone that doesn't have those features on it. Check their phones, monitor their phones. Very important. Just be vigilant, right? That's like the first and foremost thing. A lot of times we become careless and we are seeing the results. I say we, like imams, and we see the results of it. Parents don't realize. Every parent thinks his kid is an angel.
Another thing we missed actually was television, right? Television, both of us grew up without any television in the home, right? It's not difficult, it's doable. And whatever news that you're missing, it will reach you. So we'll take one more from the brothers, and then while Hafiz Fawad is pulling it up. Yes, brother.
Yes, I have two quick questions. One is, does Project Ihya put out good content that, especially media content that we can show to our kids, like maybe a good Islamic cartoons or popular ones, and as kids grow, if you can make some resources available and share that with them, that would be great. And my second question is slightly different. Is we talk about parental control, but how do we balance, given that we live in a Western society where kids are allowed to question, kids are allowed to make choices, and how do you balance that with parents controlling? Because sometimes you also see the negative side of too much control as well, right? But kids tend to conform at home, but then they do what they want outside. How do you make the balance?
So with regards to the first question, Project Ihya is probably like less than a year old. So we have a long way to go. We're just doing programs, and we have a question and answer thing. We do Dawah, where we invite non-Muslims to Islam as well. So we have a few projects going on at the time. We are working on some sort of other media content, but we're not at that level of producing. And as for balancing control, that is actually something that's going to vary from family to family. We have to be smart about our parenting. Right? We have to balance. What is smart parenting? It's not just barking commands and orders and limitations all the time. But we should develop a trust and a love with our children. Right? They should understand that we are their parents first, and then we're their friends second. Right? So there's a trusting relationship. They don't feel like my parent is telling me this just to hold me back, but they're doing it because they care about me and they want to protect me. Kids aren't going to understand it. Every kid, no matter what you say to them, you're going to get a little bit of pushback. But that doesn't mean we stop parenting. That doesn't mean that. That's why in Islam, there is a certain level of disciplinary authority that a parent has. Because kids are going to push back. It's in their nature. But you still have to parent. we still have to parent. Otherwise, society's parenting your child.
Just a reminder for the sisters, ask.projectihya.com, ask.projectihya.com, you can submit your question. This young brother has been waiting. Go ahead.
I have a question.
Raise your voice. Don't be shy.
Why would you sell your soul and how would you sell it?
Can you come closer?
I said, why would you sell your soul and how would you sell your soul?
Unfortunately, I haven't done it yet. May Allah protect me. Anyone have an answer?
He said that why would you sell your soul and how would you sell your soul? Why people sell their soul is because they want to sell it to whoever can give them the most physical pleasure. A lot of people are selling their souls because what is being offered. They're selling their soul for something that's being offered. What is being offered? Pleasure. So be very careful. If all the other person is offering you is pleasure, then it's something to be wary about. You have to think about that our soul and our body belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If what that person is offering is in contradiction with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking of us, then we don't sell them our soul.
So one question that came from the submission, that at ICNF you spoke about protecting your children, but what all can we do as a community? After all, it's not only a Muslim problem.
So I guess that's a very long, that'll require a long answer. But there's actually a famous saying about how it takes a community to raise a child, or something like that. It takes a whole village to raise a child. So every single one of these influences, there's a role that the community can play. There is a role when it comes to peers, for example, right? When it comes to the positions that the community holds on certain aspects, like music, for example, or on the media, and what is allowed in the masjid, what is allowed at home, between families, what is promoted. As a community, if we have certain values as a community, those values will come into our children, right? So it is a community effort. Everyone has to be on board. It can't be that some of us are arguing that no, it's okay, and the other. There's a certain level of community input. Everyone has to be united on this idea and on the shared values. Okay, if we're united on shared values, that is what the community can do.
There's one last question. First question from the sister. Can I? Okay. Last question, inshallah? Last question, and then we'll finish. The question is: kids disrespect their elders. How do you make them understand that being disrespectful is not only haram, but it makes them think it's normal to just be disrespectful to everyone? So I'll answer this. This is not like a one-time switch, right? It's going to come from the culture in the home. It's going to come from, like we mentioned this whole time, like what is your child exposed to? If they're going to school, they're seeing kids on a day-to-day being disrespectful to their teachers. They're seeing kids being disrespectful kids to their parents. So when they're exposed to these kinds of people, it's going to rub off, right? So you can only curtail it to the extent that you actually remove these influences from them. And other than that, try to keep them in the company of ulama, send them in Jamaat for 3 days, send them, keep them with ulama and other pious people and good kids. And inshallah, like if you remove that influence, then you'll see that will inshallah come down.
Yeah, there's a lot of Islamic efforts going on, feeding the hungry, this, that, the other. There's so many things that we can involve our kids in that are community-led efforts, inshallah. So we should aim for that.